Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Look Forward. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Rachel Maddow. Excuse me, Brad.
Welcome to Dementia Week, everybody.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so this week is interesting. A couple of notes here for the show. This is the last show of the year, last one of 2025, so we're going out with a bang. I don't know what that really means. It'll be a regular show. But we are going to be off after this for the rest of the year, and then we'll be back in the new year. Okay? So that's just first and foremost. Second thing up, there is no big story. I was sure, and I think many people thought so as well, that surely Trump's nighttime presser was going to be, hey, we're going to war, full war with Venezuela. Turns out it's Joe Biden's fault. Don't blame me.
Which, look, I mean, considering the circumstances, probably the best outcome we could have possibly hoped for, honestly.
Look, I'll take it. So we're just going to go straight into news you need. If I sound weird, it's because I'm super stuffed up. Just took some Claritin. Hopefully within the next 20 minutes, my brain will unclog and then I'll be able to talk normally. So I apologize. All right, let's get into it. Pretty much everyone hates what Donald Trump said about the death of or the murder of Rob Reiner and his wife. I feel like this is one of those things where people are going to were shocked at the reaction by everyone, including the shitball president. But I think people were just like, oh shit, they forgot that there used to be a time where we didn't all hate each other and everything wasn't all division. And in the center of that were movies that Rob Reiner made, right? That just crossed all genres, all races, all creeds. He just made movies and television that everyone, for the most part, liked, right?
Yeah, and not only that, but by all accounts, from pretty much everybody who has spoken out and all these kind of stories and stuff that have come out about him, a genuine mensch. In the most in the biggest degree. Like I said, beloved, but he also was very outspoken against Donald Trump specifically in the past, decade or so. Give or take.
Right. So, Trump, of course, made it about himself because he is a malignant narcissist. So this guy and his wife being killed has to be about Trump somehow. He couldn't just be a dick of I didn't really give a shit about the guy, but he was killed because he made people angry because he has Trump derangement syndrome. I think that person with the derangement syndrome is you. That's a very strange thing to say. Look, I'm sad about Reiner dying. He's the director of literally my favorite movie of all time. But I do think I'm proud of the responses from it, of people just being nah, that dude was a good dude. Get the fuck out of here, whether they were on the left or the right. But I do want to call out some bullshit that I'm seeing, because I haven't seen people call it out. And that's kind of what I like to do. People on the right being see, we wouldn't revel in this. The left reveled in the Charlie Kirk murder. And I'm of two minds. People on the left definitely reveled in Charlie Kirk being murdered because Charlie Kirk was a racist piece of shit, which is not a fair comparison to put him up against Rob Reiner, who wasn't
right. A filmmaker who was an armchair pundit, right?
Right. Who was just hey man, you should probably do maybe give gay people, equal rights and things like that. That's not the same as hey, I'm scared of black people flying planes because I'm a giant racist, right? Or women,
or the same as having a campus operation that literally has a blacklist for certain liberal college professors, right?
Exactly.
That you target and stuff like that,
right? That you promote, and then those people get harassed and shit like that, right? So those two people are not even on the same level. One person is a talented person. The other one is a piece of shit. In life and death. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Charlie Kirk. And his wife too. She's really getting on my goddamn nerves for real. All that being said, the other aspect of it that I'm going to call bullshit out on is the right's response to Rob Reiner has a shit ton to do with wanting to seem superior in the light of the Charlie Kirk thing. I can guarantee you. So, oh, look how moral we are about this. And I'm
I did find it funny.
Never shot. Their response would not have been the same. I can guarantee you it would not have been the same.
I did enjoy them jumping on the high horse before the Trump
only to get kicked out directly in the chest.
Right, like that was hilarious. Now, again, to their credit, the pretty much everyone that I saw, even like the most vile fucking people that you can imagine, was like, right. Well, I mean, not just him. Like there were much more vile people than James Woods. We're like in response to Trump's post, like that's not a good look, man. Like I was kind of shocked that they didn't then fall in line. Now, of course, all of them like had to, hedge their statement by being like, look, man, love Donald Trump and everything. Like he's been awesome, but like maybe this one little thing was in poor taste, and we don't need to fucking do that. By the way, like I know that there was a that there's a lot of suspicion that like Nixon had like a shoot enemies list. Like Trump 100% has an enemies list, right?
I mean, undoubtedly.
Like I feel like this tweet would not have happened if Trump had not like recorded it somewhere that like, oh yeah, I fucking hate Rob Reiner. I cannot wait to dance on this guy's grave.
Yeah.
If he dies before I do.
Yeah. Look, again, I'm very skeptical that all these people on the right were so loving and reasonable at this time. I don't buy it. I'm like, and look, you could say, hey, that's being really cynical. Yeah, I'm cynical because I lived on the planet for more than 4 months.
I think part of it was also how he died was like also kind of a big thing. Like,
Sure.
Dude was like brutally stabbed, and his wife was brutally stabbed by allegedly their son, which is, right, kind of crazy. So I think that had it been like a random person doing it, like I think the response probably would have been like, see, this is what happens in crime-ridden Los Angeles. Like, this is why Trump's sending in the National Guard to clean up the streets and blah 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 blah. Like, I think that more would have been the reaction had the details of the crime not like come out pretty quickly, all things considered.
I would make the argument that like, and I'm not wishing this obviously at all, but like if Michael Moore got killed tomorrow or died tomorrow, I guarantee you the response would not be the same. I guarantee you, basically. Mm. So I do think that there is a desire to want to seem more morally correct in the wake of the Charlie Kirk thing. Like, oh, look at the right, we never celebrate this stuff. Of course, Donald Trump was like, "Step aside, Butch. We show you fucking done." Like, I'm anything if not consistent in my douchebaggery. But all that being said, whatever their reason for holding back and not acting like an asshole in this situation, yeah, appreciate it. Because that guy didn't do anything wrong to deserve to be shat upon. And again, he was an artist. He made great art that we all enjoyed. This is Spinal Tap, Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, Stand By Me, fucking A Few Good Men, for God's sake, right? Like, The American President to a lesser extent. Like, the dude made great shit, and it was stuff that we all like. As people have been saying, as a monoculture, just there's certain things that have just hit in that way from like 84 to 94. He just had a fucking hell of a run. He really did. Mm-hmm. So it sucks that he died. And he died in the way that he did. But it's nice to see the country being like, don't say that. Like, don't do that. That's fucking unacceptable.
I also, I mean, again, this we're talking about like Rob Reiner's murder pretty cynically, which, unfortunately, this is the world that we live in right now. I do wonder if Trump's armor has not been, I guess, pierced a little bit in recent weeks. Also, if the reaction from a lot of the right wingers who had some criticism for him would have been the same.
I would argue that's probably true for people in Congress who came out like, hey man, that's like not cool. As far as like just like the regular D bags online, I don't think they give a fuck. They live at the altar of that guy. So I
mean, you know, this touched the nerve when Mike Johnson couldn't even pretend like he didn't hear about it, right? Like when they asked him about it, like he would have been like his reaction wasn't like, oh, like this is the first time hearing of this. His reaction was like, yeah, like probably not what I would have done, but you know,
yeah, he was just
that
kind
dude
of
is who he is.
I mean, what was his response? Something like,
I mean, it literally was that he's like that's not how I would have gone about it. Essentially, is what he said.
Comment on everything that happens, like. Okay, but like this is your boss. Like you don't want to. Oh, I dropped my pen, and then just like throws it.
My luggage.
Yeah, just runs off. Such a great clip. Yeah, so it's good to see that at least there's something that kind of hits at a point where people just go, "No thanks, man. No thanks." Now, I think also couple that with the Brown University or. The Brown University shooting where he was like, things happen, not a really good look as a response to a college campus being shot up and 2 kids being killed. But he doesn't have any compassion for anybody, so no one should be particularly.
I mean, we saw it again today. I mean, we're going to talk about health insurance later, but they asked him again about the subsidies expiring, and he's like, well, he's like, they should expire because the health insurance was terrible. I'm just like, interesting message to go with right before people's pocketbooks are about to get tanked because of this shit.
Because of you. Because of your part. Quite literally because of it. And you very specifically because this one big beautiful bill was your baby. This was your thing to do. Mm-hmm. You can tell because it was named like an asshole. Next up, the Vanity Fair interview with Susie Wiles is pretty telling. But is there an is there an alternative motive going on here? Mm-hmm. The more I think about it, I'm thinking maybe not.
I don't think so. Like I feel like
over a year. I thought it was
done over a year, and the tone of it was like her, like kind of like trying to brag, on the things that they've accomplished, but she's like high on her own supply in a lot of ways. Like she doesn't realize how insane she sounds when she says a lot of the things that she said in that interview. So yeah, because a lot of people was like, oh, like maybe she's trying to get fired. No, I don't think that's the case here. And she already got her punishment, I guess you can say, as well. Did you see this? This came out recently, where after Trump gave his speech last night, where he said nothing except that somehow a year later, like the state of the country is still Joe Biden's fault, but trust me, it's going to be totally awesome real soon. Just you wait. He was to the press like, yeah, like she made me, like Susie Wiles made me do this speech. Like I didn't want to do this. She made me do it.
Well, at least he didn't hit her with I have all the confidence in the world in Susie Wiles, because then it's like, fire tomorrow. Like that's it.
I mean, he kind of did because someone asked her like, hey, like, are you going to keep her in the job, especially after that interview? And he's like, oh yeah, she's doing a great job. Like she's definitely going to stick around. So maybe she got the dreaded vote of confidence.
Yeah, I feel like that's the wrong question to ask him. I'd be like, do you have any comments on her saying you have an alcoholic's personality? Like,
oh no, they did ask him about that. He's like, he's like, I agree, actually.
Okay, that's a weird response, but all right.
He's a weird guy, and also has a brain made of Swiss cheese right now. So yeah,
it's riddled with drugs to keep him alive from his dementia, I guess. Yeah, look, I mean, I think the Susie Wiles thing is interesting, right? Where she says Trump has an alcoholic's personality, which is a fucking wild thing to say considering his brother died of alcoholism. Mm-hmm. And he supposedly hates booze, though there have been plenty of pictures of him drinking, actually, over the years. And he also owned Trump vodka, which is like, okay. Just seems ironic. Like that would be like me owning like Jay's like anti-abortion clinic. Like it'd be really weird. Like it's a weird thing to feel so strongly about and do the opposite. She said that JD Vance was a conspiracy theorist. like for the last like decade. She said that Pam Bondi really whiffed on the Epstein files. Just wait on that. We'll see how bad it truly is tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm about to say, as you're listening, you'll probably have more information than we have right now.
You know what? She was really under
as the DOJ goes redact. like apparently they're having like a crazy redaction session right now.
Hell yeah!
Because the files are scheduled to be released tomorrow as we're recording this. So
yeah, you get nothing but black sheets. What else? She called Russ Vought basically like a right wing,
a zealot. Yeah, she called him yeah.
I can't remember who else. I think those are all the sort of direct quotes I can remember. But it feels like if she does get fired, she definitely is going to be a big name in someone else's campaign, like running in 2028 is my impression. If she's not fired, I think it's just like, as somebody said on Chris Hayes' show, she sounds like she's just walking through life as an observer in this position and not as the chief. I'm just kind of like, whoa, there's crazy shit going on in here, bro. This is wild. Like, your job is to make sure the crazy shit doesn't get too crazy. Like, that's your job. She's just like, I don't know, man. That's wild. So,
I mean, one could argue her job is arguably the most influential, or supposed to be the most influential in keeping shit on the rails. Like, that's kind of been what the chief of staff's role has been for a long time. Now, that being said, Trump has not always had the most effective chiefs of staff in the entire world because, again, he's not going to bring in anybody who's not going to just kowtow to him.
Right. He doesn't listen. I mean, John Kelly very, very famously was like trying to tell him stuff, and he's just like, I don't really give a shit. So, yeah, it remains to be seen. If she lasts like 2 more weeks, I'd be surprised. Like that'll really tell you that they just didn't give a shit about the interview. I mean, she said, "Oh, Elon Musk is a avid ketamine, user," and she's like, "Oh, I never said that." That's what the article said. She said, and she's like, "I never said that." And then the guy who wrote the article was like, "Here is tape of you saying it." So, I don't know how you thought you could talk to Vanity Fair and that they wouldn't write what you said. And Vanity Fair does not strike me as the type of people who are just making shit up. So
I will say shout out to the photographer on that piece who made all of them look extremely foolish in many different ways.
It's interesting because, people are comparing it to the Vanity Fair spread for the Bush administration, right? And that picture, looking back, I mean, just the worst of the worst people, right? Like, obviously. Mm-hmm. But they were a team, right? Like, they did work to spread their evil cohesively, right? And, like, they were pretty, when it came to messaging and all the evil shit they want to do, they were really quite capable of doing that as a team. And when you look at that picture, like, they're together, right? Like, they're standing closer to each other. And someone had pointed out that if you look at the pictures of this group in the Trump White House, they're all kind of apart. Like, and that's very true to like how the Trump administration is. The reason it's all scatterbrained or whatever is because there's no cohesion. It's just a bunch of people,
but not it's
trying
not
to fight for their own power and their own.
It's not only that, but like, it's coming out, and like the photographer is even kind of like alluding to this in some subtle and not so subtle ways of how he like some of the pictures that he took with like folks like standing like solo against the plain wall, but he left like aspects in the background, like the light switches and thermostats in the room and stuff like that, which could just kind of like undermines the kind of the gravitas of the picture. People have, talked about that weird picture of Marco Rubio standing kind of like Trump does, where he's like almost like standing upright but hunched over. The close-up shots that were just completely untouched and made some of those folks look pretty bad. And then my personal favorite, the pictures of Stephen Miller, one of which he purposefully posed between a portrait of Native Americans with Stephen Miller like below that, number one, and then a black and white photograph of Stephen Miller that looks from from a posing standpoint like a dead ringer for a very famous picture that exists of Joseph Goebbels as well. Like just even the way that like Miller's head is positioned and like the expression on his face and stuff like that. So like this dude was I think making some subtle statements on his own. And then people compared it and they're like, oh, maybe this guy just takes pictures that make people look like assholes. And then someone showed off a picture that he took of Biden during the Biden administration coming off Air Force One with this like shot where he was like standing behind the military officer that was saluting Biden at the bottom of the steps, but the shot is angled up to make Biden look very impressive, like as he's coming down, stuff like that. It's like, look, this guy knew exactly what the fuck he was doing. Get the hell out of here.
Yo, this picture,
he's good at his job.
Yeah, I'm looking at these black and white pictures of Stephen Miller and Joseph Goebbels. Yeah, no, that's on purpose, 100%. Like 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, what's the difference? Like, what's the difference? Right? It's just time, dude. Like, except that guy is Jewish and hates Jewish people too. Like, it's fucking insane. Just all of you could just die already. That'd be great. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Vanity Fair gets sued, right? Like just random.
Well, I mean, that's the next one, right? Like Trump is suing the BBC for $10 billion for quote unquote deceptively editing an interview that they aired of him, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. So
sure. Yeah, give us $10 billion. No, fuck off. He's also suing. Who is he suing? Is asking for like discovery, which is hilarious too. They're like, I want your medical records and shit. I forget who. Oh, so it's the Pulitzer. It's the Pulitzer people. Like they, like he's suing them for some stupid amount of money, and they're like, no, that's cool. So during discovery, we're gonna need your medical records, every bit of medications you're on, and all this other shit. People are like, well, what is that going to prove? It's like it's designed to get him to drop the lawsuit. That's what it's not designed to prove anything. I mean, if you want to give us that information, we're going to publish it and just embarrass your ass. But no, it's just designed for you to be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and by the way, if you're going to ever sue Donald Trump, this is exactly how you do it. I think that guy's crazy.
It's not just suing them. It's like we talked about last week. Just anything. Like if they come after you in any way, stand up in their fucking face. Yep. And be like, again, like the motto of anyone that the Trump administration goes after or tries to suppress or anything is "fuck you, make me." Because typically, when that's the tack you take, you win against these guys because a bully doesn't like to get punched in the mouth.
That's right, and more importantly, bullies hate discovery. They don't want it.
Yes,
like
yeah, that's it.
They're like, I'm going to need to see all of your medical records. Well, I don't really want. Then let's stop this conversation right now, and you can just leave and I can leave. It's very simple. It's very simple. All right, let's talk about Mike Johnson. Do you mind starting this one while I'm trying to wait for my head to clear, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So Mike Johnson, because he's really bad at his job, has completely like bungled this healthcare subsidy extension conversation to the point where he's literally losing. So we talked a little bit about the different proposals that were out there last week. And one of the proposals was the House Democrats proposal, where they just want to extend what's currently in place for another 3 years. Like no other changes, no cuts, no adjustments to, means testing or stuff like that. Like just take what's in place right now, extend it for 3 more years. And then we can have this conversation when, a couple of years down the road when we're in charge. Right. So, but Johnson's refusing to hold that vote. And to Hakeem Jeffries' credit, and there's not a lot of credit to pass around for Hakeem Jeffries, it feels like nowadays, but to his credit, he has held the Democratic caucus in line, even with pressure from some of his more moderate members that have been trying to work with Republicans to come up with like an alternate plan. He's just like, no, fuck you. Like, this is the plan that we're fucking voting on. Like, if you somehow get Republicans to bring your plan to the floor, like the rest of the caucus is not voting with you. So don't even fucking try. And what happened as a result of that is that more moderate Republicans were just like, fuck, like we really want to pass this more moderate plan, but like Democrats aren't fucking budging. And we'd rather have their plan than the subsidies just expire, because if not, like if the subsidies just expire, like we're going to get fucking killed next November, because a lot of these more moderate Republicans are, of course, in more competitive districts and stuff like that. So because Mike Johnson towed such a hard line and was only willing to allow like certain proposals to get to the floor and not anything close to what the Democrats wanted, he actually got 4 of his Republican House members to defect and sign a discharge position with Democrats to force a vote on the Democratic proposal to just extend the subsidies for another 3 years. Right. Now, we're not going to have that vote, because after this happened, Mike Johnson made the other extremely good decision to recess the House for the remainder of the year early, guaranteeing that the subsidies will expire before the House is back in session again.
This is a disastrous idea on many levels. One, look, I'm sure he's getting a twofer here, right? You recess the House goes home, cool. We don't have to vote for the dreaded discharge petition, and yet another discharge petition is successful under his reign, which looks really bad. And it looks really bad because the discharge petitions were headed by Democrats, right? You got the entire Democratic caucus, and then you got Republicans jumping onto it. So that looks bad. The second part of that, like in stopping the subsidies from being possibly voted on and extended. So that looks bad. By the way, the Senate is signaling if something comes out of the House to save this shit, they will vote for it. So that's another reason Johnson's like, oh, absolutely not, right? Because then it'll pass. And there's no way Trump vetoes it, because you're going to look fucking insane if you do that, right? It's the same shit. The other part of that is tomorrow the Epstein files are supposed to come out. And to not have half of Congress there, like not having Congress there is a story in and of itself that I think they can hope will kind of like pull a little bit of juice away from the story, and not having people in the House like, hey, I'm making statements about this shit. But I think they are underestimating that Democrats will not go out onto the Hill and make tons of public statements about it.
I was about to say, just because Congress isn't going to be in session, or just because the House isn't going to be in session, doesn't mean the Democrats are going home. Like Republicans might go home, but Democrats certainly are not.
Yeah. So I think he thinks that that's a like a +2 for him, but it really isn't. It's actually just a -2, because people are not going to forget that their subsidies are fucked, bro. Like they already know. Like I see people already like, hey, I was paying $350 a month, which is already low, to like $800 now, or like to $700 now. You cannot convince people that they're not paying more money when it is obvious that they're paying more money. When it's like 10% more, 5% more, $3 more, you can kind of fudge that and like people stop really paying attention. When it's twice as much, 3 times as much, there is no way for you to get around people not noticing it. And they will find it every single month of this.
And here's ultimately Mike Johnson's biggest problem. And I talked about this in the Discord a little bit, but the reason, like, there's a reason that Congress and the executive branch are supposed to be adversarial forces to some extent, right? Because obviously Trump doesn't want the subsidies to continue. For what reason, I don't know, because all it's going to do is serve to hurt him and make him less popular. But he clearly does not want that to happen. If he wanted it to happen, it would happen. Like if he told Mike Johnson, "Hey, extend the subsidies," we'd have a vote on that shit tomorrow. Because Mike Johnson is just a vessel for Donald Trump. So when you're the speaker and all you are is just a pass-through vessel for the president enacting his will, you literally can't be effective, because a lot of your members are going to have competing priorities other than what the president wants to do. And I'll give Republicans some credit to the point that miraculously, they have stayed somewhat in lockstep with the MAGA movement, despite the virtual insanity that has happened, especially over the past year. But at the same time, like, again, like we talked about it last week, people in Congress, like, they may play dumb on TV, but they're not actually stupid. Like they can see the train coming down the tracks. And when it comes, when the difference comes to between, hey, I need to listen to what the president wants, or I want to keep my job in Congress, at some point, like, like the I want to keep my job is going to win out at the end of the day. And so you're going to break with some of the things that the president wants to do if it's going to help you get reelected in what's going to be probably a pretty difficult, at least in the House, a pretty difficult midterm coming up next year. Or yeah, it is next year. So.
Yeah, I saw a stat that 10% of the people in the House, or 10% of, I guess it's 10% of the people in the House, will not be coming back next year. That's not people losing. That's just people retiring or like I'm out type of shit, which is already pretty telling. Hopefully it's up to 50% by the time we're done with this. Okay, so here's the thing. You're absolutely right that Johnson is a vessel for Trump, right? And I saw a couple of quotes from Republicans that they were saying, like, they wish, like you said, you have competing interests, right? You've got like these people, you got Republicans who are in like vulnerable states who are just like, or vulnerable districts who are like, just fucking get the subsidies done. Who gives a shit? Mm-hmm. And then you have people who are like hardliners, and then you have people who are sort of more moderate, or like, all right, well, we can do the subsidies. I'm cool with it. But like, is there another option? You know, like somewhere mushy in the middle, right? What's interesting is the quotes from the Republicans in the House were, hey, we're really hoping the president comes up with a framework of a plan, because then we could like all go that direction, right? Like,
did you see the quote about that today, by the way?
Oh no!
When Dr. Oz was talking about the price of penises in the marketplace, they asked him about this, and they asked him about like the plan, and he was like, oh, you know, the president's people, like they have some concepts for a plan. I'm like, oh, we're back. We're so back. We're back to concepts of a plan. It's awesome.
Yes, somebody put together like a supercut of all the times Trump is like, yeah, it'll be in like 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And it's going all the way back to 2016. They don't have a plan. People in Congress who are Republicans who think that Trump has an idea for a plan, who are waiting for some sort of direction so they can all kind of move.
Actually, we've heard Trump's plan. Trump's plan is just, hey, we'll give you some money and you can go buy the health insurance yourself. Like that's Trump's plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even as good as the Rand Paul plan, for God's sake. Right. I mean, go to Costco and get it. But no, they're screwed because they truly believe that he has some idea, and they're like, I wonder why he hasn't come up with, or why he hasn't, produced it. It's because he doesn't give a shit about real work. Like, I was thinking today, like, how would I feel if Republicans came up with like a real plan that like really helped people? Would I be on board for it? And of course, like, because I care more about fixing the problem than like Democrats getting a win. I don't give a shit about that. I mean, sure, that would be great. But if they have a superior plan and it's going to work, do that plan, right? Which is the difference between Democrats, I think, and Republicans. But all of that being said, or even like more liberal-minded people and sort of Republicans. But all that being said, I don't have to ever worry about that because Republicans don't like doing the work of governance. They don't. They don't want to sit down and write out a 900-page healthcare plan. They're not doing that. Like, people
they've had what, 16 years to figure this shit out?
Yeah, quite literally. I mean, people are like, oh, I remember that one crazy ass right-wing lady went on like the Daily Show when the ACA passed, and she's like, she brought the whole printout in this huge binder, and she's like, look at this, Jon Stewart, look how long this thing is. It's like, yeah, it's the American healthcare system. It should be detailed. Their idea is that it should just be like on a piece of paper and says like, cheap and good. There it is. Like, brevity in this case is not a win. This is not a hot take you want to give. You want to have a comprehensive, smart approach. And I know they're not going to do it because that takes work. And we learned a number of years ago, they spent all their money, like they stopped hiring people to write laws, like hiring staffers who could write laws. And instead they took that money and they hire PR people because that's their priority, is just to appear that they're doing work, not actually doing work.
Well, don't worry, Jay, because Trump will fix it by slashing drug prices by 600%. By the way,
700%. 700%.
Well, so his Howard Nutlick went on Fox News today, by the way, and they actually pushed back on him on that because he's like I think he was talking to John Roberts, and he was like, he's like the president loves to he keeps talking about he's going to cut drug prices by 600%. He's like, if you take something and you cut it to zero, that cuts it by 100%. So what the fuck is he talking about? And Howard Nutlick was like, well, no, he's like, that's not how it works, because let's say you take something that's $100 and you cut it down to $13. That's 13 is is 7 times cheaper than it was before, because 13 times 7 gets you to 100. So that's why it's 700% cheaper. And John Roberts, that's not how math works. He's trying to explain to him what he's saying doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't. And it's prices can increase over 100%. That is true.
Yeah.
But you cannot decrease it by 100%. And I saw someone comment and I was like, what's wrong with saying you reduced it by 87%?
Right. That still sounds pretty good. It still sounds pretty awesome.
All right, 0 to 100%. They got the 87%. That's pretty good. Why don't you just say that? The problem is you just say massive numbers because it sounds cool, except it doesn't make any sense. And that is
there was an Onion headline in the wake of the Trump speech yesterday that just said Trump says all numbers have increased by 5,000%, and that's basically the fucking point of it right there. He just wants to make it sound fucking grandiose and twist the numbers in whatever way he can to make it sound more impressive, even if it doesn't make any fucking logical sense. And everyone else is along for the ride, apparently, in the administration as well. They're more than happy to sound like fucking idiots on television to back this shit up.
You're one of his finance guys, and you're trying to pretend that you can go below a 100% decrease. Right? All right, man. None of you should ever be able to be in public office after this ever again, elected or.
So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens once once the bomb drops, for lack of a better term, and people actually have to start paying. No, people have to actually start paying these premiums because the subsidies don't get extended. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the public reaction, which is going to be very loud and because again, people are irate now. Right. Seeing it coming down the road, they haven't actually had to do it yet.
Yep,
it's gonna be a whole different ball game once they have to do it. On top of groceries still being more expensive, on top of tariffs still making everything else more expensive, on top of all the other cost increases that people are seeing on a daily basis, on top of rent spiking despite what JD Vance says, rents are the lowest they've been in forever. What the fuck chart are you looking at, dude? Are you out of your fucking mind?
I mean, also house prices are really high, but that's because illegal immigrants are coming in and buying up all the houses.
Yep. Okay. Right. Crossing the border with pesos in their pockets and buying fucking $500,000 houses so that the middle class white family can't get them.
If only all of our houses weren't bought up by illegal immigrants, said no one ever. Also, illegal immigrants are a drain on the system because they just sit around and do drugs and do nothing all day. But they're also buying up.
Schrodinger's immigrant has never been shied away from by Republicans.
Schrodinger's immigrant.
The lazy welfare kings who also are taking all the jobs and resources.
Of course. Yeah, the idea of the lazy Latin person when it comes to work is just a hilarious fucking idea. I'm like, have you gone outside? What are you talking about? These are the people building your houses that you apparently are getting bought by them also. Okay, Make it make sense, JD. Make it make sense.
Squatters' rights, Jay. Squatters' rights. They're building a house and they're staying.
And they just run inside. They're like, ha
Right.
ha. What are you talking about? Oh, weirdly, I can't wait for that guy to be president. It's going to be great. Any day now. Trump signs executive order to classify illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
Man, we really are just running back the Bush administration. Holy shit.
This is it. But this time dumber. Like that movie Simplicity, where he's like just making copies. Each copy is dumber than the other ones. This is not good. Saying, classify illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Look, it's a drug, and it's a very serious and a very scary drug. I will give you that. Like enough that's like a couple grains of sand of fentanyl will kill you. That's not bullshit. By the way, I did see that there's a guy trying to invent a fentanyl vaccine, which is really dope. But hey, don't take it. Right wingers, just don't take it, right? Because you guys hate vaccines. Don't take it. Just like don't take the cancer vaccines when those come out either. Just don't take them. Because you wouldn't want to get turbo cancer from it. So yeah, I mean, this is just a reason, a predicate to blow up boats or kill people or do whatever Judge Dredd like future in Mega City 1 you want to, as long as you say, hey, fentanyl was involved. That's it. I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, why are we surprised that we got to this point? This is the same fucking idiot who a couple months ago told Pam Bondi that what she was doing, stopping fentanyl from coming over the border, literally saved over 250 million lives.
Yes.
Which would be 70% of the country.
I don't know about you, Brad, but the Pam Bondi, I was going to do fentanyl, but then I was like,
well, no. The problem is all of us are already taking fentanyl, but because Pam Bondi stopped it from coming over, now the fentanyl has stopped from getting to us because all of us are doing things that have fentanyl's in everything besides, like, not just drugs, like it's in food and water, probably vaccines. That's probably why RFK doesn't want you to take the vaccines.
If you don't think about
fentanyl in them.
Yeah, if you don't think about
it, and it'll kill you. So yeah, like it's not surprising that we got here. It still was ridiculous to hear out loud for the first time because, again, like Republicans, more than any class of people in the past 20 years, have made words meaningless to a degree that no one else can possibly rival. Add weapons of mass destruction to the list. I mean, they took a fucking hatchet to it back during the Bush administration, but at least the WMDs they were talking about were real WMDs.
They were actual things, right?
Yeah, they just didn't exist. But now that term's going to have no meaning now because now we're just assigning it to anything that we don't like that we're trying to fight against. Apparently, if we're Republicans, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the other aspect to this, which is my real fear, and not that I don't have fear for the more of these boat bombings and shit like that because I think that's just ridiculous and insane. But my real fear is that inside the United States, they will just start labeling people who sell drugs as potentially having fentanyl and feeling like they could just go out in the street and just shoot people. Because it's like, oh, well, this is a weapon of mass destruction, right? This is like you walking around with a suitcase nuke. I guess I'll put a bullet in this kid who's selling weed on the street because I'm going to say it was laced with fentanyl or some shit like that. Like these kind of things. And I know that sounds like a real slippery slope argument, which I don't normally like to make. But with these guys, I'm going to make that argument because that's how they operate. So I'm not too pleased about it. But at the same time, I'm not particularly surprised. But like, ironically, Trump comes out today because he really cares about the war on drugs and reclassifies marijuana, which I just thought was just really funny. I think marijuana should be legal everywhere. I think it's silly. I'm really hoping that Mexico's like, cool, they did it. We should probably do that.
Here's something we get to say maybe once a year. credit to Donald Trump for doing something that's actually,
right.
yeah,
so
a good idea.
Right. And so he's reclassifying it, taking it off of the classification that it was with like heroin and LSD, which is insane. You're not going to be tripping your balls off smoking weed. I mean, you might get pretty fucking high if you do a lot of it, but it's not going to do the damage to you like LSD or methamphetamines or some shit like that. It's just going to make you like, it's just going to raise the price of raise the stock of like Frito-Lay, if we're being honest. Like that's the biggest benefit of this. So I appreciate that. It feels like a buy off, right? Because things are going really bad, especially with young people and everything else. And this polling is like, hey guys, I'm cool, right? Or you guys like dank memes or something? Like, yeah, that's the ticket. Like, yeah, Trump, weed, I'm the guy. Like, it doesn't even go with what the shit that they say on a regular basis about everything else with drugs and alcohol and wanting to be pious and perfect little Christians. But they're like, yeah, okay, weed's legal or whatever. Like they don't really give a shit. So to me, it's like cool, but like I still don't fuck with you. So like this isn't going to work for me. But we'll see what happens with the classification. Just understand that the Republican Party has not said a single negative thing about this, proving that they don't really care about these things when liberals talk about it. They just do it just because they're on the opposite team. That's it. They don't actually give a fuck about this at all. So let that be a lesson to you. If they crow and bitch and moan when you're a Democrat and you want to do these things, do them anyway. If it's right, if it's right for the country, do it anyway. Take the screaming and yelling and gnashing of teeth for 2 weeks or 2 days, depending on how the TV cycle goes, and then you'll be out of it. Like that's it. Oh, we're really mad at Joe Biden. What's happening? I don't remember what we were mad at him about. We'll be mad about something else.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, don't worry. Like I said, within 3 days they'll find something else to be mad at you for, and they'll forget all about the first thing. So
Hey, look, if you're really good at your job, you do something, and then you already have something planned that can pull the ire away from that, and give them fodder on that thing for 3 more days, and then by the time they come back, you're already moving on, baby.
Or like I said, the one Trump approach that the next Democratic president can do is just have a stack of executive orders that you're ready to roll out on day one, and just fucking flood the zone and make it so that they can't pay attention to just one fucking thing.
Yeah, no, that's
or have one of them be really egregious that'll get all the attention, so you can do all sorts of other cool shit underneath the cover of that. Yeah.
Like, here you go. Executive orders 1 through 75 are all the shit like, yeah, that's awesome. Cool. And number 76 is like, we will be kicking puppies on national television on Wednesdays. And they're like, wait a minute. And you're like, yeah, all right. All right, fine.
Sign the one that's like, we're mandating sex change operations for everybody. And then they'll fucking lose their mind, do all this other stuff. And then, come out 2 days later and be like, just kidding. I'm resisting this.
We're just fine. Yeah. You're allowed to troll, right? Like, that's a thing. Next up, Democrats win an election in the great state of Kentucky by 40.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Can we not say the
great state of Kentucky? Get the fuck out of here.
No, it's great. They got
the old person who said that Kentucky is a great state. Kentuckians. That's who. Or Kentuckyites. I don't know what fucking term that you use for those guys.
Canaanites? Canaan. The timing on that was amazing. The Rock and Lawler singing at the same time.
Like I said, he used to be very entertaining. So
yeah, he used to be. The 100. I love that he gave less number. He's like the millions and millions of Rock fans, the thousands of Canaanites, like. Or like 20,000 Canaanites. Like, oh, okay, well, not a lot.
There are dozens of us.
Yeah, they're basically the never nudes of professional wrestling. Democrats win an election by 47 points in the great state of Kentucky, some would say. Democrat Gary Clemens, a South Louisville Union leader and U.S. Army veteran, won Kentucky's vacant Senate seat, Senate District 37 seat on Tuesday in a roughly 47.5-point landslide, taking 72.6% of the vote. Now, here's the thing.
A lot of asterisks on this one, unfortunately. But
but here's the thing: Kamala Harris won that by 6 points, won that district by 6 points against Trump in 2024. But this guy won by 47 points. That's a 41-point slide. That's pretty. That's amazing.
It is.
It's a small.
However,
a small race. I'll give you.
Super small. Basically, they had a turnout of 7% in this election. Yeah, I appreciate the story. I'm not, and I'm not saying that the swing won't be there come next November.
Right.
But if you're expecting this district, wherever it is, to flip by like fucking 20 additional points, then I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, no, probably not. However, what it does tell you is that is a pretty safe blue seat. Right? Like that district is a pretty safe blue district in Kentucky, of all places, right?
I mean, again, Kentucky has a twice elected Democratic governor right now. So Kentucky can vote for a Democrat if it's a Democrat that speaks to the things they want. And so, and again, like looking at Kentucky, like Andy Beshear is a good guy to show that you can be a Democrat and be successful in a red state without being Joe Manchin. Because Andy Beshear is not an AOC, but he also isn't a Joe Manchin. Like he is definitely firmly to the left of Joe Manchin.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, Joseph Goebbels is practically to the left of Joe Manchin. Okay, maybe not that far, but for effect, it works. Yeah. So look, I love this. I think it's cool. This guy looks like a regular shit kicking Kentuckian, and yeah, he won. Good for him. Look. I don't know what the midterms are going to look like. I like to think that it's going to go really well for Democrats, considering there's many things going bad in the Trump administration, but shoveling that coal into that fire that is your healthcare going up by twice or 3 times your normal amount, it can't help but to push Democrats into a better and better position. Not that I want people suffering to benefit of politics, but when it comes to this type of stuff, it does matter. So we shall see. It's not looking good for Republicans in any of these special elections, and they can pretend that doesn't matter, but it absolutely does. It does, especially like even if it was just like, oh, the Democrats are doing well in these because it's like kind of off year and kind of off season kind of things. It just builds momentum where people are like, all right, we're coming out in the midterms. We're coming out in the midterms. And they get more amped to come out in the midterms to fight against Republicans at the ballot. So
now I will say there is a story that came out where the DNC has announced that they're not going to release their 2024 autopsy. And the reason that they don't want to do that is because they have the positive momentum right now and they don't want to put out anything that's going to like dampen that. And I understand the impulse there, but at the same time, I really hope that internally you guys are looking at that and learning the right lessons.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because if you think that like if you treat 2024 like it was an aberration, like things are actually going really well for us, like you might do well in 2026, but that doesn't mean that there's going to be continued success down the road for you, as we saw in 2024. So like even though they're not releasing it publicly, which I think is a mistake, because I think the general public is not necessarily going to really get that leaked to them, especially with all the insane shit that Trump is doing. I do hope that you are learning the lesson that you need to learn from last year. So,
yeah, I mean, look, I think the biggest thing is you have got to stop this mealy mouth bullshit, and you got to really push hard, and you got to
stop trying to win right wing votes. Just fucking stop. Just fucking
stop.
Have a platform that appeals to your base and say it with your fucking chest, and put people up that are going to be fighters. that are gonna fight to get results, because it doesn't matter. It really does, as we found out in 2024. It really doesn't matter what your fucking policies are, as long as you show that you're willing to roll your sleeves up, or at least pretend like you're willing to roll your sleeves up, and get to work when you get there.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And that's why, for that very reason, I think somebody like Jasmine Crockett does make a difference in that Texas race. Because whatever you think of her, whatever you think of her policies, one thing you're never going to get from her is being like, I think she's going to be like a mushy in the middle Democrat in the Senate. Nope. That is not what you're getting with her, right? Like, never forget, she gave fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene a fucking dress down that she made t-shirts off of, slamming her ass. Like, she's not a person that's going to come in and like throw a couple of light jabs. She's going to throw a couple of haymakers, and people need that. Like, people want to feel like, when I vote for you, I'm sending you into Congress to start punching back. And if they feel like you're not, they don't have any confidence in you. Look, you can even fight and lose, but they got to see you fighting. Like, Democrats are often like, well, we don't want to take a fight that we're obviously going to lose. Sometimes you get that fucking David and Goliath situation, and sometimes you hit fucking Goliath with a sling, which is a fucking weapon, and he wasn't really at a disadvantage, I'd like to point out in that story. But sometimes you score a blow and people go, oh shit, you took down the fucking bully. Sometimes that happens. And then other times it's like the viper in the mountain. Sometimes you get your fucking eyes gouged out. Oops. Size matters sometimes, right? Speaking of things mattering, unemployment has hit a 4-year high, Brad.
Is that good? That's a sign the economy is doing well, right?
Well, according to JD Vance, it actually does. Did you see this clip that he talked about?
No, I did not. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, this is some high level gaslighting bullshit. This guy treats his wife like dog shit, and I can tell from this clip alone. Okay, they ask him about it. They're like, "Hey, man, unemployment's up to 4.6%. It's the highest it's been in 4 years. What the fuck is up?" And he goes, "Listen." He's like, "This is actually a good thing. I swear to God, you can look it up. I wish I had the clip. Like, it's fucking insane." He says, "This is actually a good thing because the unemployment numbers," see if you can figure out where he's going here. The unemployment numbers are that percentage is tracking people who are looking for jobs, but cannot, who are out in the market looking for jobs and are unemployed. However, if you are a person who loses their job, but then you stop looking, you're not reported in that 4.6%, right? Like, because like if you stop looking after a while, if you're not applying for unemployment or whatever, stop looking, you're not included in those numbers, right? So because the economy is doing so much better, the number of unemployment is rising because more people are getting back. People who had already left the market and it was like, there's nothing out there. They're now trying to find jobs. So they're applying for unemployment and they're applying for jobs and not getting them. So hence the economy is doing better because now they're engaged in trying to find a job. You're welcome. That's how good.
Yeah, famously unemployed people are like, you know what? I'm having trouble finding work right now, but I don't need the money. I'll just take a chill pill and wait until the job market gets a little bit better. I'll get by on my good looks. Maybe I'll go panhandling a little bit. It'll be fine. I'm not going to be an active participant in the job market right now.
This is insane, right? Like, did he just like he basically was like, I'm trying to remember what is the bar was like the Winchester from Shaun of the Dead, like we're gonna go to the Winchester until this all blows over.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's basically JD Vance's idea. It's like all these people are like, oh shit, unemployment's really bad. Just go to the Winchester until this all blows over. Oh shit, it's good again. All right, I'm gonna get out there and start trying to find a job. Like, granted, there are people who stop trying to find a job. That's true. But those people generally just continue to not try to find a job. It just kind of perpetually goes that way until they pull themselves way out of the market and they just don't work anymore. However, the vast majority of people who have jobs and like lost their job or whatever, they're constantly trying to get back out there, right? Your numbers are going up because people are just losing jobs. Like, and you guys are
cutting. And because there are fewer jobs in the marketplace. That's usually the reason that unemployment goes up. It could be one of two things. It can only be one of two things. It can either be fewer jobs in the marketplace or more people looking, and it's often a combination of the two because those two things are kind of inextricably linked typically to one another. So,
I mean, and let's be honest here. They have fired so many people from the federal government that the amount of people trying to find jobs in the private sector has increased. Like, I know for a fact there are tons of people who got let go of their jobs and things like that in like that Northern Virginia, DC area, especially, or federal jobs, and they are hunting for private sector jobs because one, you can't go back to the public market because everything is fucked because of these guys. And so the private markets are flooded with people desperately trying to find jobs, right? Trying to take their skills that they have in the public sector and bring them to the private.
Good thing that a lot of businesses have a lot of extra money to spend with all the money that they're saving with all the tariffs in place, right? Because, fortunately, China and other countries are paying those tariffs as the goods come into the country, right? Like, that's how we're told it's supposed to work. So like all these other businesses should be flush with cash. So surely they should be able to add more positions, no problem, to help this job market solidify a little bit.
I mean, all the manufacturing is coming back. I mean, these guys, like, we're actually having an employment crisis that we just cannot fill the jobs.
Did you actually see the manufacturing data as well?
No, I didn't. It's probably dog shit.
Oh, it's hilarious because like you see because Trump's whole big thing is we're bringing manufacturing back to America and all this shit. Manufacturing was coming back under Joe Biden. Like manufacturing jobs were actually growing, and then as soon as Trump gets into office, it starts heading the other way.
Yeah. Well, manufacturing investment has dropped off considerably because of the tariffs. It's like,
right.
People are still I listened to a couple of podcasts. I won't say their names here, but a couple of podcasts where people sort of have these there's like the debate bros on the left, and they just do these people call in these Trump supporters, and even still in 2025, people still are like, no, the foreign countries pay the tariff. It's like, how do you still believe this? How do you still believe this? It's amazing how ignorant people are about it. Oh, and Trump's going out there now and saying, we have made 18, I swear to God, he's like Dr. Evil. We've made $18 trillion in tariffs. What are you talking about?
No, technically, it's not about tariffs that he said that about. He said that about foreign investments that have been that he's been going around getting this year, despite the fact that
still don't believe it.
Right. But it's funny because he's going to these countries. He's like, oh, they're going to invest $1 trillion. I'm like, bro, that's that entire country's GDP. What the fuck are you talking
about? Making shit up, man. Just making shit up. Right? It's the $18 trillion sitting on the tariff shelf. By the way, we're getting ready to bail the farmers out. I'm shocked by this. You and I both were under the impression that they probably were not going to bail out the farmers, but they are going to bail them out to the tune of $12 billion. Hey, you could have probably taken that $12 billion out of the $40 billion you gave to Argentina, but whatever.
I mean, hey, they're getting closer to making them whole. Again, we talked about it. $60 billion in soybean sales went to zero. Trump got $20 billion of that back. Now it's another $12 billion getting paid out in bailouts. We're halfway there, Jay. And much like the farmers, we're living on a prayer.
Very nice. Thank you. Yeah. There are no farms in New Jersey. Get out of here. I mean, I don't know.
Can't farm off the turnpike.
Do not eat food from New Jersey. That's insane. Any food
except for Taylor hay. Yeah, that's probably the only.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. There's probably they got Wawa up there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's been a while since I've been to the.
At least South. I bet you South Jersey at least has Wawa. I don't know about North Jersey.
Yeah, they're
New
too close.
New York, Jersey.
Yeah, they're too close to Pennsylvania not to have a Wawa coming across the board. So in Fast Corruption and Faster Screw Ups this week, FBI Director Dan Bongino says he plans to resign next month as the Bureau's #2 official. Of course, he is the FBI Deputy Director under one Cash App Patel. By the way, that's literally his first name. I'm not just being a dick.
Yeah.
It is. Fuck Cash Patel very specifically anyway, and his country music girlfriend. But yeah, Dan Bongino is stepping down. What are your thoughts on that? I have some very specific ones.
This has to be the first time in the history of this country that someone in a high-ranking position is stepping down from their post specifically to go back to podcasting. Because that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, even Trump was like, I think he wants to go back and do his show.
Do his show again.
I think that's hilarious. Look, we live in a giant glass house, but look, I also shouldn't be the deputy director.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm also not the deputy director of the FBI, so like I feel okay throwing shade over Dan Bongino. So
he's got to be looking at those numbers out there. He's like, we were #1. How dare we not be?
But honestly, like that's a lot of what it had to be, because like I'm sure that like he's fucking sitting here in this fucking job, being like, bro, like
miserable.
I was making so much fucking money talking on the radio for a couple times a week. Yeah, and now like I have to go into this job that's actually fucking hard, that I have to actually do fucking work in, and I'm making less money than I was, and I'm fucking miserable. And I just want to go back to being
his wife
fucking
left
lazy.
him or is about to leave him as well.
Yeah.
So I have a different take on this. I don't think what you're saying is incorrect. I think that's actually probably part of it, because he like didn't show up to work and shit. They were asking people in the media like, "Have you seen Dan Bongino?" Like, bitch, I'm in the media. Why are you asking me? Call his. It was like super weird. But I think
we want to be with Dan Bongino.
I needed Andy to find that song. But I think there's another aspect to this. Dan Bongino is a true believer, right? He's as true believer as like Cash Patel and those guys are, right? He's not just a hired gun. And I believe from reporting I saw, like it's possible this is not true, just because so many people get a lot of this shit wrong. But I believe that Dan Bongino was put in charge of the Epstein file shit, like going, handling the agents that go through this shit, right? I think there is a decent chance that this dude saw shit in there, was like, I just shattered my whole fucking world, right? Like that he was a true believer that this guy was on the up and up and everything he said was true, and the deep state and all this other shit. And not just about the Epstein files, but other shit. Like, it's one thing to be in Secret Service, or because that's what he did before he just was a radio host. And then becoming like this real true believer, fucking, Rush Limbaugh type ass clown. But then getting in front of the FBI and having access to all of this information, it's hard to sort of couple that with your conspiracy theory bullshit when you get behind the green door, so to speak, and it's like, these guys were actually doing shit that I thought that they weren't doing, or the people who I thought were doing really dirty shit were not doing. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be that moment where your headcanon comes in contact with reality.
The cold reality of banality smacks him in the face.
Yeah, like, fuck. Like, I wonder if there's shit, because we have not heard from Dan Bongino in months. Okay, like just keep that in mind. Like literally,
he did go on Fox and Friends a couple months ago and had a nice cry on the couch. So
I'm so scared. I'm tired. But I think that dude has all that conspiracy bullshit. I think that stuff has run up against reality, and it's like, these guys are not what we thought they were. Like, and I mean that very specifically in the Epstein shit. I mean that in all the deep state bullshit that these guys have been pushing for years. Then once they got back there and saw it, it was like, holy shit. Like, all that stuff we thought was wrong. And look, some people adapt to that and go, no, it's the children that were wrong, right? Like that's Cash Patel, right? Like, he's got that vibe about him. But I think Dan Bongino's got that like 6 mile stare of like, I might have fucked up, and I want to.
I think we should take a little bit of a detour to talk about Cash Patel a little bit. I gotta say,
you think he sticks around?
I'm not even speculating about that, but I'm just saying that it certainly is a choice to have a high profile mass shooting happen on a college campus and to have no real leads. In fact, to release disinformation about the shooting, yes, and then have to retract that once it's proven to be false. And apparently have the FBI that you're leading be so inept as to catch this guy that allegedly the vehicle that is in question in the Brown shooting matches the same vehicle type that is suspected of killing the MIT professor at his home that we found out. So it's not, I'm not gonna say it's possible, but it's certainly in the realm of possibility that the same person might have carried out both crimes, and because the FBI is comically inept under Cash Patel, that they might have not been able to catch this guy. While all this is going on, you go on to Katie Miller's podcast with your girlfriend to defend you using public funds to go see and to have the temerity to go on to this podcast and be like, I don't know why why everyone's fucking saying that I'm using public travel to public paid for travel to go to all of her fucking concerts. Like, that's ridiculous. I only go to like 15% of her shows.
Why would you say that? Like, why? What a weirdo thing to do. What a super weirdo thing to do. I don't think Cash Patel sticks around.
No, I mean, again, like he sticks around as long as, like if he continues to be a fucking embarrassment, then, it makes it real easy to get rid of him. So,
yeah. And I think he's another one who made more of his push as a conspiracy theorist, like type of shit, than anything else. I think that's largely where he is going to. He's sort of made his name for himself. I mean, obviously he worked for like the ATF and things like that. As of right now, and obviously the FBI, but I think largely this guy just is a radio host, which is why he keeps running out and being like, we got a guy. And they're like, no, we didn't get him. He's like, all right, like fart noise. We'll be back with the morning zoo crew. Like that's who this guy is. This guy's not a serious person. He's certainly not serious enough to be in charge of the FBI. I think it's a fucking joke. That being said, I'm not saying like I would be good in this job. I'm saying that all I know is he's not good at it. Okay. So like, just to be clear, as far as like his whole,
I don't think I'd be good at being the FBI director, but I think I could do a better job than Cash Patel.
Well, yeah. Cause I would be like, hey, who's the smart people here? Hey,
yeah, like you said, hey, hey, I don't know about this. Who's an expert in this field? Oh, you are, cool. All right, you're taking point on this, and I'm gonna and you're gonna let me know what you're doing. And if anything is real fucked up, let me know, and we'll have a chat about it. But I'm not gonna meddle in your business because I don't fucking know shit, and you do. So
look at that, Brad's a boss. That's how you know.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you've ever managed people, the best thing you can do is. You point people in the right direction. You find the people who know what the fuck they're doing. You go, handle that shit. Call me if you need something. I'll yell up if I need to. Like that. That's and be kind to people. Like that's basically the goals of being a good boss. Go watch a couple seasons of Ted Lasso. It's not fucking hard. People can be a pain in the ass.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So no, I don't think Kash Patel sticks around. By the way, speaking of the Epstein files, two things. One, Democrats released more images today using Dropbox, which I think is common of how they do this, but they allowed the comments to stay on, which is
hilarious. We forgot.
Look, that's petty. That's petty as fuck. I love it. That's really fucking funny. The second part about the Epstein files is I wanted to go back to the Susie Wiles interview because she said something about the Epstein files, which was curious. She said, and part of it is going to make me sound hypocritical, but you know, I like to be fair to me, so I'll be fair to me. Which is, she said that Trump is in the Epstein files. Duh, we knew that. But not doing anything untoward because just him and Epstein were just kind of like playboys together. Yeah, but they were like in their 40s. So like they weren't boys. They were men and they were being playboys with whom? Okay, like that's the problem. It's not just like we were out there like hooking up with like of age chicks. That's not what was happening. Like, come on, man. And also, like, Epstein is known for being a pedophile. So somebody who is hanging out and being a playboy with him, that sort of gives up the ghost here. Like, he wasn't like, hey, man, I'm really into, like, MILFs. That wasn't his thing. He was more into the barely legal or not legal, and mostly the not legal. The other part that she says that I think is really fucking telling is Bill Clinton should not have been mentioned in this because Bill Clinton didn't do anything untoward as well, is what she said. And look, I don't know Susie Wiles from a fucking hole in the ground personally, but if you think that Donald Trump and Susie Wiles wouldn't take the time to burn the Clintons, you're insane. Again, they like, and look, Democrats to their credit, they released pictures of Bill Clinton. They're like, here he is. Like, we got no friends. Like, here's Bill Clinton. They put Bill Gates' fucking face out there. Like, hey, that's all.
We also had a fun moment today where, so last month, David Brooks, who's an opinion columnist for the New York Times, wrote an op-ed about how he wasn't really interested in like the scandal releasing of like the Epstein files and stuff like that, you know, and things of that nature. Cause he's like, there's not gonna be anything in there that, you know, show that there's gonna be no smoking guns or anything like that. And this or the other thing. And it's all a distraction from the stuff that's actually facing the nation. And people are like, wow, that's a peculiar, stance to take, just, you know, divorcing yourself of the biggest story. And then in some of the pictures that released today, look who was at a banquet with Jeffrey Epstein, personal invitation. Oh man. Oh, you didn't mention that in your op-ed? That's weird.
Super weird. I mean, it's probably not relevant. It's probably I think Jeffrey Epstein was a perfectly fine guy. Why are you saying that? For no reason whatsoever. I got to get the hell out of here. Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. Like, this shit is just silliness. It's absolutely silly. There is some more reporting about the more Trump Epstein bond. Quote, female bodies were their currency. Not exactly
That's a gross statement.
Yeah, that's not the best quote you want to hear when people are talking about you. Fucking yikes. They found a person of interest has been found dead in the Brown University shooting. So maybe it's the guy who was doing shootings. I don't know if self-inflicted. Who knows? Don't be a coward. You're gonna do this shit. Go to jail. Like, don't take the coward's way out. Get out of here. Also, shout out to that Muslim dude who stopped those guys from killing those people on Bondi Beach in Australia. I thought that was fun. Yeah. I guess all Muslims are bad, right?
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of the Bondi Beach shooting, got a lot like people were just like, man, like, oh, just go to show you, like, it doesn't matter how draconian, like, fucking Australia's gun laws are, like, they can still have this shit happen. It's like, yeah, man, I gotta tell you, like, this is the first time this has happened in 20 years. It's like, so that's rough. And the reaction of Australians is to be like, well, I guess we have to make our gun laws even more restrictive than they were before, because obviously
they were like, no, we're not going back. Get the fuck out of here. Now, how does that make any sense? It's like, no, tighten that belt up a little bit further. Yeah, they were like, nope, we need a national registry. We need like it needs to be even harder to get guns. Yeah, good. That's great.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, I did read a disturbing story right before I got here about what do they call them? These are 3D printed guns. They're called
ghost guns.
No, I know that, but the name of a very specific one's like an FGC. FGC 9. Which is a 3D printed gun. They're using them. Rebels are using them in the Myanmar civil war. Like quite literally, they're about $500 to print. And FGC 9, what does it stand for? Fuck gun control. Cool. Apparently, this is, as the article says, this is taking the Second Amendment global because it's outside of the United States. It's the number one 3D printed gun in the world. Cool. Can't put that.
The internet continues to possibly be a mistake.
Yeah, we can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. Like you just simply cannot. Yeah, because like you can print like 99% of the gun or like 95% of the gun, and then the rest of it is like, just go to get a pipe and machine that in your house from fucking Home Depot, and like get this spring that is like super easy to get at a hardware store, or like you can just order it online, and it's not suspicious at all. You just get those things, and then that's it. And then it takes like 9mm bullets, and it's semi-automatic. Great, cool, good job, everyone. We've all done a great job with life. Excellent. Let's see. Trump says that he was offered $250 million to run for a third term by Sheldon Adelson's wife, Miriam Adelson. Here's an idea: they should both die in prison. End of story. It's not about getting paid or offered money to run a third term. It's illegal. And the fact that that woman even suggested it, she should die in fucking prison. Hey, and guess what? I know what you're thinking. Well, Jay, she's really old. Well, she won't be there long, so that's fine.
I mean, look, if you're going to commit campaign finance fraud or attempt to, at least, I appreciate the fact that you're doing it out in the open without any obfuscation. So you got that going for us. Yeah,
I just think that woman should be arrested immediately and thrown in prison. Cool, you're trying to do treason. No, that's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Write your check. Cool. We'll just donate. We'll throw you in prison, and then we'll do civil forfeiture of your entire money.
Thanks, John Roberts.
Yeah, it's fine. You can just talk about openly breaking the Constitution. Isn't that funny? Yeah. How about you tell this joke from inside a prison cell? Get the fuck out of here. We're past the hour mark. If that dumb bitch thinks that this guy's going to be around to 2028, you know what? Pony up your money, dum-dum. Like, get the fuck out of here. He's going to be dead and gone by 2028. If he makes it to the midterms in 2026, I would be shocked. I hope he does, because I hope. Have you ever seen Braveheart?
I have not.
Oh, that was before Gibson went super crazy, man. That was a great movie. It's an excellent film. But there's a moment where like the King of England, like he's doing all of these horrible things and like, obviously oppressing, Scotland and Ireland and like doing all this horrible shit. Right. And, William Wallace is out there. He's fighting back. He's kicking ass, taking names and all this other shit. Gives a freedom of speech, all that. The king dies. Like he can't speak anymore. He dies before like Wallace is executed or like roughly at the same time. So he does not get to enjoy like capturing William Wallace and like making him pay for all of his crimes. And it's the same thing. That's why I want him to stick around and be just cognizant enough to watch his party get fucking eviscerated in the midterms. Then you can die.
Except he won't care. That's the thing. I know, but I'm saying having him stick around and seeing it happen is a Pyrrhic victory because he won't blame himself as is customary. He will deflect all the blame and say it's all these losers' fault. Actually, I had nothing to do with this, and he won't give a shit. So like, I don't need him to wait to die until like next December. He could die tomorrow.
No.
And I'll be perfectly fine.
No, you don't want that. Because then he's a rallying cry if he dies. He's a martyr. He's a rallying cry. Let's win it for the Gipper type of shit. Fuck that. No. I need him to survive until the midterms because I need him looming over the ballot where people go, I hate that guy. I'm going to vote against that guy. That's what I want. And then when the dust is settled and Democrats have destroyed Republicans in the massive blue wave and everyone's laughing and cheering, then he's like, I'm going to take control of the news narrative by killing over and dying on national television. No fucking notes. That's what
I don't know, man. Because if he dies, like the power vacuum that will create in the Republican Party is going to be something to behold. I mean, we're seeing that in microcosm.
Yeah,
I'm about to say we're seeing that in microcosm right now in the right wing,
douche
like pundit space with Charlie Kirk's death. Like there's lots of people that are knifing the shit out of each other, trying to be, I guess, the heir apparent to Charlie Kirk. And that won't hold a candle to what happens when Trump finally kicks
it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun watching them just jockey for position. Like, no, it's going to be me, Nick Fuentes. No, Tucker Carlson. And then just stabbing each other. Great. Let them fight. That sounds awesome. No, but I want him looming over the ballot. I don't want people to be mourning him and be like, "You gotta come out." Like, nah.
Ben Shapiro was speaking at the Turning Point thing tonight, and I caught a clip of it online because he said something about like we're in real danger of the right wing movement, cannibalizing itself because of all these grifters and stuff that are out here that are trying to hijack it. And I will report to everybody, he was not wearing a hot dog suit at the time that he said that.
Yeah,
I found some.
They should have all been wearing hot dog suits, to be honest. Like the camera should have panned out with just a sea of people in hot dog suits asking, "Where is the guy who did this?" Look at us. We're all the grifters now, right? Like that's who that. House passes a trans healthcare plan that blocks all use of Medicaid funds for transgender care for minors. Okay.
Not only that, the bill would criminalize transgender care for minors as well, which would threaten doctors with a 10-year sentence for providing gender identity care. Does that
count for boob jobs?
Like not clear.
Boob jobs. Their
parents not clear. Probably not.
Yeah,
probably not. I bring this up for a couple reasons. I bring it up to mention that 4 Democrats voted for this, including the recently pardoned Henry Cuellar, who people are like, "Oh, this is made good." Now, Henry Cuellar would have voted for this shit regardless. Like that's the kind of asshole that he fucking is.
Yep.
So that's number one. Number two, for everyone that's been working overtime to lay out the Marjorie Taylor Greene redemption story, don't you worry, she was front and center on this issue.
Yeah, she's not your friend, guys.
Yeah, advocating for that. Again, I don't mind her being a useful idiot for some things, but the redemption tour that a lot of liberals seem to want to roll out the red carpet for does not need to happen, I will say. Now, the good news is neither of these bills, this is actually 2 separate bills, the Medicaid ban on transgender care and the criminalizing ban for gender affirming care to minors, not likely to pass the Senate. Because they need Democrats, like a substantial number of Democrats, to go along with it, and there's no indication that is going to be the case. But yeah, just know that this is still something that they are focusing on.
Yeah.
And
primary every single Democrat who voted for this in the House. Get the fuck out of here. All of them gone. Cuellar as well gone. That would be wonderful, by the way. That guy gets pardoned and then he gets fucking booted. That would be just wonderful for him. Look, there's also an interesting thing that's happening in Texas that kind of couples alongside this, which is it's not just Texas, it's a number of red states. They're making lists of transgender folks in the state, and they will not say why they're doing it. There is talk of some sort of like DOJ kind of like going after trans people thing. I don't know exactly the details of it because it's not exactly clear to anyone. Criminalizing human beings for just being human beings is some of the most disgusting foul shit that we've ever done as a country. I'm looking at you, Ghost of FDR, too. Don't do this. By the way, you're already sliding down the fucking like approval scale at a clip. If you just go after people for just being trans, the
problem is that there's a lot of
bad move.
The problem is there's a lot of liberals who are, I don't want to say sympathetic to this argument, but are not willing to stand against it. I mean, and it was pretty telling. One of the Republican speakers who talked about when they were debating I think the Marjorie Taylor Greene law that she put forward about the 10-year sentence for gender affirming care, literally quoted Gavin Newsom on this issue, which not a good look if you're Gavin Newsom and thinking about running for president.
Yeah, not a good look at all. You should probably come out and change on that topic. Because this is not a good one.
You'd like to think, but considering that he could easily just not have broached the topic in the first place, being in a comfortable position as the fucking governor of California, and going out of his way to weigh in on this issue, probably how he actually feels. So
yeah, no, I'm
not
sure,
ideal.
I'm sure it is. That being said, giving people 10 years for doing gender affirming care. When it is cleared with their parents and them, and you are a doctor and not some fucking ass clown politician who just has a hate streak in their heart because you just do not understand it, and like a caveman, what you do not understand you think is bad. No, I think that's egregious. I think it's absolutely egregious. If you're going to be willing to give those people 10 years, for doing their job in a positive manner, whether you agree with it or not. But somehow, like the people, like, was it the Sackler family who, pump opioids into the country like fucking crazy? Those people don't do any jail time, right? Like, who's hurting more American citizens? These people who are helping the less than 1% of Americans who are, identify as trans, or the Sacklers who quite literally helped create a massive opioid crisis in the United States, hurting millions of families, ruining millions of people's lives. Like, and that you just cannot get back. So, like, pardon me for not finding this to be particularly interesting from a like moral high ground perspective. This is bullshit.
Well, and of course, the issue, the part of this issue that really perturbs me, putting aside the fact that, again, you're demonizing people just for trying to be their true selves, which is really fucked up in the first place, is your justification for doing this is like every Republican that I heard from on this, basically, their justification for wanting to do this is completely rooted in nothing but religious fervor. That's it. It's literally just, well,
of course,
like Marjorie Taylor Greene literally said on the floor, if a man becomes a woman or a woman becomes a man, that is trying to say that like God made a mistake and God doesn't make mistakes. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're talking about the laws here. We're talking about laws of man, not Sky Daddy fucking bullshit that you believe. Like, I don't believe what you want. I don't really give a shit. It shouldn't affect anyone. Just because you believe these things.
Right. Like, you can't make the argument like God don't make no junk. It's an argument against transgender folks. Like, that's insane. But that's what religion is. It's kind of insane. I
mean, it's funny to me here, and Marjorie Taylor Greene say God doesn't make mistakes because she exists among us. So, like, if there is a God, which I don't believe,
I mean, so apparently God forgot, like, we're no longer making Cro-Magnons anymore, right? But
Yeah.
he was like, I guess you'll go with this timeline.
One slipped through the we had a defect come through. Hey, you want to take care of that? Nah, just let it ride. It's cool.
Look, I'll make no jump, so just fucking put her out there. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I mean, literally, like January 6th, like get the fuck out of here. Just leave people alone. Just leave people alone. Like,
it's really not hard. It really just isn't hard to not be a piece of shit.
Because nobody has ever said, I'm really mad and we need to make a law that young girls can't get boob jobs if their parents will allow it. No one has ever made that argument. And I'm not saying that to be a creep, but that is gender affirming care. And adults have allowed their daughters to do that. It's not against the law, right? Like you can't do it on your own, until I think you're over 18. But I think with like parental consent, you can do that. Why is that any different? Why is it any different? Well, because boobs are great. Like that. Like that's like the fucking like lizard brain argument. Right? Like that's it. It's horseshit. It's just horseshit. Still my favorite takedown of all this gender, sort of anti-trans sentiment was I don't know what her name is. She's a fucking character on the internet. But I believe she's trans. And Z-Way, who does like these like kind of funny interviews, she asked her, she was like, what are your thoughts on J.K. Rowling? It's like who is he? Who is J.K. Rowling? It's like, no, J.K. Rowling is a woman. It's like, it doesn't sound like a woman's name. Like, from my understanding, women authors often use initials so that they appear to be men when people hear the name. It sounds like she had a perspective that she wanted to put across, so she used that name so that people could see her as she wanted to be perceived, not as she walked around in life originally. And then she just kind of stares at the camera like, like, and that's the fucking, right? Like, you are just changing the outside to match how you feel on the inside. Why would I give a shit? How does that affect me? Like, it doesn't, man. It literally doesn't. It doesn't. People literally go around the world now breaking their legs to become taller. And we're like, that's cool. And like, even people are like, well, that's crazy. It shouldn't be illegal, right? But somehow someone going, hey, I'm trans and I'm gonna take these hormones so that I can match, how I feel on the inside to the outside. That's gross. That should be illegal. The people helping you should be arrested. They're breaking motherfuckers' femurs across the street, and we're like, yeah, no, this is A-okay. These people have to relearn how to walk for a year. Totally fine. Okay.
But Jay, penises cost $150,000 extra if you want testicles.
Dude, we got to get that clip because I love that as a clip. It's just fucking hilarious. Like, I mean, that's just.
I told you that it just reminded me of fucking. All I could think of immediately when I heard that clip is just the fucking Big Lebowski. Like, you want a penis, dude? Like, I can get you a penis. I can get you a penis by 3:00 this afternoon with testicles.
Like, please don't. Like, I'm super good. I'm super good. Next up, the TikTok purpose has been done.
Yeah, our fucking long national nightmare is ending apparently, and of course in the most corrupt fashion that it possibly can. So the TikTok ban that simply hasn't been enforced by the Trump administration.
Right? You're like, okay, we're banned. Are you?
Is officially ending apparently. There is an agreement in place to, and again, like, this is so stupid to me because they're selling. TikTok is selling, or not even selling. They're entering into a joint venture with a number of companies to share ownership of the U.S. operation, like just the U.S. part of TikTok. Like everywhere else in the world somehow is unaffected by this, but U.S. TikTok will be held in a joint venture that will be held by a consortium, and basically half of that is going to be held by Oracle, Trump's BFF, Larry Ellison.
Yuck.
Silver Lake, Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. And MGX, which I don't know what that is offhand, but I'm sure it's owned by someone else that Trump is bros with. And they're each going to have a fucking piece of it. And then existing investors in ByteDance will hold 30% of it. And then the rest of the other 20% will be held by ByteDance. And according to them, this joint venture will help protect the data protection of U.S. users and retain the algorithm for U.S. users locally in the U.S. It won't get outsourced to China. I guarantee you that none of that fucking shit is going to happen. This is just a way for Trump and his cronies and his family to get paid. And that's it.
Okay. You going back to TikTok?
Fuck no. Are you kidding me?
All right.
I mean, less likely. I trust Larry Ellison and Jared Kushner less than I trust the Chinese government.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely
in terms of how my algorithmic data is being used.
Yeah, like, hey, it's back. Yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm super good on that. Thanks. Like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I will happily continue using YouTube Shorts because it sucks and it makes me not scroll on it forever. So I don't have to worry about getting sucked in to that for extended
like
period.
The best part of TikTok and it's the one thing that the other social media video programs or apps do not have is that algorithm. Their algorithm was designed for virality. Like it just was. If you make something, it could pop off and you could get 20,000, 100,000, a million views if you made something good. And it was fun or informative or interesting and stuff like that. YouTube Shorts is designed to like kind of slow roll it. Like you put out a short, it doesn't even get picked up for like 24 hours. Quite literally, that's how the algorithm works. As it slowly grinds you through. I would not be surprised if you don't see something like YouTube or one of these other social media apps rip off the algorithm once they have access to it. Because once it's partially or mostly owned by the U.S., they're gonna rip it off, and then they're gonna be like, who gives a shit about TikTok? And then they're gonna come out.
But again, you're assuming that it will. I don't believe for a nanosecond that this, like, I think that all of this shit is just lip service. I don't think anything's gonna fucking change. Yeah.
So you think the ownership will happen, but you don't think they'll do anything?
No. Like all this bullshit about like we're worried about Americans' data security and all this other shit and China getting access to that. Like, no, none of that is going to change. Like nothing behind like in the actual coding or the algorithm or anything like that will change. China will still have complete access to it. It's just now that a couple of Trump's friends are getting paid. That's literally all this fucking is.
Yeah.
And Congress won't care because as soon as Trump got there, they didn't give a shit about it.
Nope. No, and then it also has the sort of the mask of security, right? Like it's wearing this mask of, well, now it's owned by Larry Ellison. I'm like, how is that better? Like that guy fucking sucks. No thanks. No, it's too bad. I like TikTok. I thought it was a good program. Once they did the ban and then they came back and they're like, oh, we're gonna let it back in. I was like, I'm out. Nope, I don't trust it. The second
thank you Donald Trump for doing what you did to get us back. I'm like, cool, never gonna be on this thing again. Oh, sorry.
Done and dusted. No, thank you. Which is too bad because I did enjoy it. We were getting some pretty good numbers on there, but I'm not going to be a party to those fucktards. So no thanks. It's probably not a term I should use. As I said that.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right,
that's probably.
Speaking of those people, we're renaming the Kennedy Center to the Trump Kennedy Center because our president is a giant man-child and needs constant reminders of how great and important he is.
I gotta say, this might be the second worst thing to ever happen to JFK.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah. So the board of the Kennedy Center said
again, I won't like as long as this
no,
name.
not while his name's on the fucking marquee. I'll tell you that much.
And I've been a number of times. I love the Kennedy Center. It's great.
Yeah. But yeah, so the board voted today to do this, quote, unanimously, and then we found out later that one of the board members, who is also a member of Congress, who also happens to be a black woman, it was Joyce Beatty, was like, yeah, like I was on the call, this wasn't on the agenda, it got brought up suddenly, I tried to comment, and they wouldn't let me come off of mute.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, that's pretty on the nose.
Yeah, that's pretty telling. I'm surprised she's still allowed to be on the board, to be honest.
Apparently she is what is she considered? She's called an ex officio member, which is why she was invited to be on the call, but she wasn't granted the privilege to speak because she doesn't have a vote. This is what the head of the board said.
Yeah, I think this is fucking.
By the way, I will point out this board consists of people like Laura Ingraham, fucking Maria Bartiromo, Usha Vance, all sorts of other conservative luminaries as well. So
I can't wait to get these people the fuck out of DC. I swear to God, I cannot.
Oh, by the way, I will also point out for the record, the name of the Kennedy Center was made by federal statute, so it can't officially be changed unless Congress passes it. So much like the renaming of the Secretary of War department to that, or Secretary of Terms being quote renamed as Secretary of War. This is a change in cosmetic version only. It doesn't actually change anything. And whenever the next president comes in, who's a Democrat, they can just be like, "No, we're not doing that anymore."
Yep. And by the way, so I don't want any of that like nice guy. Oh well, this has already been a thing. We're not gonna. No, it needs to change back. Like this is disrespectful to the Kennedy Center. It just is. And get all.
Hey, if Trump wants to have his name next to JFK, he can do other things that follow in JFK's footsteps.
Yeah, feel free. Head on down to Texas, buddy. Take a ride. Again, you don't really need to. What are they going to do? A drive-by donutting? Like, just throw donuts at him. He'll eat them, and then fucking like out of here. Like, take him to a local fucking all-you-can-eat McDonald's or something. Like, get a deal for a 20-piece McNugget and end this thing. All right, let's just get it done. No bullets necessary. What's dumber, a brick or a Republican? Brad, this story is yours. May this story be forever in your favor.
It's certainly not going to be in the country's.
No.
So, Trump, because I don't know, like his whole fucking deal is spectacle and like wants to have like what he really wants to be is he really wants to be like the country's event planner. That's ultimately what Donald Trump wants to be at the end of the day. He doesn't want to be president. He just wants to plan big events that he can look cool during, essentially.
Yes.
And he had another idea for this today that he shared with all of us. A sporting competition of sorts featuring high school athletes. And his great idea would be that you take a male and a female athlete from each district or state, really, state and American territory in the country and have them compete
Hell yeah.
in a 4-day athletic event for some kind of state supremacy of some kind. No word on whether arms will be supplied by the government in this event, or if the competitors will have to scavenge on their own.
Can I, as a rich
so
person, donate and have them like drop items to my state, like from the great state of Maryland, and it's like I drop like a barrel of crabs and they can like throw them at people or something, like state sponsored.
I mean, I would assume so. How else are you going to raise money for this? For this event. I would imagine that there would be some sort of like opening ceremony for this event that you could take place in some sort of like modern day Coliseum like like MetLife Stadium or something like that, where you could have like a pageant of sorts to show off these athletes before they compete against one another.
Right. I mean, this just seems really, really weird, right? I just watched a movie. Do you know the movie The Long Walk? This is a Stephen King,
Yes.
Based on Stephen King book. The idea is like it's a dystopian, like 1970s, and to like the country is not in the U.S. The country is not doing well. It's probably Jimmy Carter's fault, if we're being honest. And the country's not doing well, and they have this contest, The Long Walk, which I will not spoil for people. That is to inspire people to have like pride in the country again. What you find out in the movie is like that doesn't really work, and it's just like a way to sort of kind of exploit kids and like kind of treat them like shit and everything else. And it doesn't really help anything. It's kind of like this. Like you're doing these things, like these feel like failed empire things, right? Like we're gonna have.
I mean, again, like the bread and circus trope is thousands of years old. It's
quite literally, right?
The people are mad. Let's have 3 weeks of games. It'll be great. Everyone's gonna fucking love it.
Right. Woo! Like, can you just reduce our healthcare costs? Like, we would be super happy with it. No. We're gonna make sure these young kids fight to the death. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's
the other funny thing. Like you've seen the internet meme where it's like, hey, like look, like a fucking tech CEO comes out like a Silicon Valley guy. Look, I made the death machine from the famous novel Don't Make the Death Machine.
Right.
Like, look, but I made it. Like,
I made it. Yeah, this is
obviously that's not. Yeah, obviously that's not going to literally be this. I seriously doubt that we're going to have a battle royale style fight to the death between our like 100 of our brightest youth athletes in the country. But I'm also not saying that that's not going to be what happens.
Right. We're fucked. We're fucked, and it's just. We need to learn. We really need to learn. He also not do shit like this. It's really dumb.
He also understand. Like I get what he's going for as well. Like I understand what he's trying to do with this, but like just from a logistical standpoint, like he understands that like Olympians are often like high school aged, and we have like regional and national competitions to decide who's going to represent America on the Olympic team in various events. So like we already kind of do this. It's just not done under the spectacle of government. But I mean, this literally is just the Roman style, right. Weeks of games to distract people from all the bad shit that's happening.
Now, keep in mind, he's doing this and also doing the UFC fighting at the White House too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. What
do you think the game?
Sometimes the bread and circus metaphor is a little more literal than others. Obviously, the UFC fight is a little more on the nose,
yeah,
right?
Just give them weapons at that point. So my question is, what do you think the competitions are? You think they're like kind of standard, like track and field type of shit?
Well, so here's the thing. Like, I don't know, right? Because if you're taking are these 100 athletes going to be competing in are we doing like a decathlon gimmick here where like they're competing in the same events, or is it gonna be like these people will do like archery and it'll be from these 5 states, and then these 5 states will do track and field, and these 5 states will do swimming or whatever the fuck the case may be. I don't know. Look, also, Jay, it's incredibly possible he's just saying shit.
Agreed. That's 90% possible that like he just said that shit and everyone's like, I guess we're doing that. Like, should we make fun
again? Like it's extremely possible that that thought popped in his head literally seconds before he said it.
It is incredibly possible that dude watched the Hunger Games last night and was like, I invented the Hunger Games. Right? It's like I invented this. You invented this? Yeah, I invented this. No, I invented this.
24 children is too few. We have to expand it.
Yeah, like No one's ever thought about doing this. Only I can save America type of shit. So it is altogether possible that Grandpa's having a fever dream and was like, yeah, no, I came up with the Hunger Games. Like I came up with the term, groceries and prime the pump. A lot of people aren't saying these things anymore. Like they're literally still making Hunger Game movies. So
here's my only request.
Go ahead.
Here's my only request before you get into this. If we're gonna do this, can we at least bring back the events from American Gladiators and have the children compete in those? Yes.
And music.
Like I think this is a terrible fucking idea, but if I can see a couple of high schoolers competing against each other in the joust or Powerball or things of that nature, I might be fully on board.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, you go full like American Gladiators, I'm all in. I'm like, this might be Trump's greatest idea, like of all time. Like make America Saturday morning cartoons again. Like that. I'm all in on this. Yeah, I think it should. Like, what bothers me about this isn't that he's doing it. I mean, it's dumb and ridiculous. But I know we're gonna all get into it. Like, that's what drives me crazy. Is like, you gotta root for your state. Like, you're going to. I watch people try to kill each other on Sundays, yelling about some like millionaires that could give a shit about you playing sports ball. If it's just like your hometown, like teens, you're like, I'm rooting for fucking Bob and Tina over there. Yeah, you're gonna root for them. You're gonna get into it. You're not gonna be able to not get pulled into this, and that pisses me off because it's dumb. But at the same time, I'm gonna fucking watch it because I get really jingoistic during the Olympics. So of course I'm gonna be like rooting for fucking Maryland, like if and when this goes down. But if you're going to do it, have fun with it. Don't give me some boring ass track and field shit. I agree with you, Brad. American Gladiators type of shit. Like, have some fun games. And that's cool. Like, I'm cool with that. But at the same time, I'm going to need you to lower the price of groceries. I'm going to need you to work on getting the tariff the fuck out. All of that shit, then you can do the games all you want. Because, like, ironically, and like in all seriousness, if you did the things that you were supposed to do, and like the country was going well, and then you did like these kind of monoculture kind of things of like, hey man, we're doing American Gladiators and 2 kids from every state, and it's going to be really fun, and and have like real friendly competition and fun shit like that. Like Zoran Mondani had this idea, which tells me maybe this is where he fucking stole it from, actually. as I say this. So Mondani had a whole thing about having a soccer tournament. I don't know if you ever heard about this. He had a soccer tournament where the boroughs of the city all put together a team. So you had like your Staten Island team, your Brooklyn team, your Manhattan or wherever the Bronx, Brooklyn, whatever. I'm not from there. I could give a shit. All the fancy places people think are really important in New York. New York is not the world. Who cares? But like those 5 boroughs of New York playing against each other, right? And having like a citywide fucking tournament, right? It kind of brings the city together in a real way where everyone's like, they're like rooting for their team and stuff like that. I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's kind of a fun thing to do. But Mamdani is saying this while he's like, well, we're going to have grocery stores and we're going to make, taking the bus for free and fixing all of these other things. And we're going to have a tournament. Don't let the city go to shit. And you're like, do you guys want to play soccer? Fuck you. I'm starving. Right? Like it doesn't work. So that to me is the problem is you have to do both of those things and then you can have fun. It's like totally cool. I would love that.
I forgot to put this on there as well. So the Army Navy game was this past weekend, which and Donald Trump was there, which means he was in my fair city, which fuck that. But he did the coin toss at the beginning of the game. I don't think Donald Trump's ever flipped a coin.
I don't think Donald Trump's ever held a coin.
That's probably true too. But based on the action of this coin toss, he literally took the coin and literally just kind of flat tossed the coin into the air. Like I don't think it rotated.
Yeah, like Use your thumb, you dumb idiot. Or like, I don't know, pick it up. I mean, like, it's a big coin. Like, you know,
you don't even have to use your thumb. Like if you can't use the thumb to flip it, just let it fall out of your hand, but let it fall in such a way that it actually, rotates as it goes down.
Like he's just like, threw it up. That's because he's never held a coin. I stand by that. He's never held a coin in an ungloved hand. Like, ugh, what is this proletariat metal that I'm holding? What is this, a pipe? I don't understand. Is this a weapon? No, he doesn't fucking know. Dude is like credit cards and dollar bills, baby. Like, come on. Can't pay for a hooker with coins. That's crazy. So yeah, I don't think he's ever held a coin, to be honest. I really don't think so. Certainly not in an ungloved hand. Like, can you imagine? All right, that is it for us. Again, this is the end of the year. This is a 2-hour show, but you know what? It's the end of the year. Even though I gave the last episode for free because that was a short episode, I'm giving this one for free too. Because 1, I don't feel like editing. 2, it's the last one of the year. Enjoy it. I think I can speak for you, Brad, and say if there is a mega bombshell that comes out, okay, we might have.
Oh yeah, like if somebody dies or if we decide to declare an unconstitutional war against a South American country, then we might have to hop on and talk about that for a little bit.
Or like, here's a picture of Donald Trump like giving an actual blowjob. Like, holy shit, this is it. Yeah, like you can guarantee. Take the dust covers off the mics. We're coming back to talk about it, but barring any of that, we will be back after the first of the year, and it's good. It's a nice 2-week off for us because we can spend time with the family and all that other shit. And it's just enough time that you start itching to get back on there and give your opinions on shit that you've been reading on your phone secretly, as your wife is telling you to stop looking at your phone. It's the holidays. Like, I know, but the world needs my opinions, right? It's exactly 2 weeks. Okay, maybe it's just my household. Whatever. All right, so that's it for us. We will see you guys next year in 2026.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, that's the end of the free portion for this week's episode of Look Forward. Make sure you go to lookforwardshow.com/premium. Sign up for premium content. It's only $5 a month or $50 for the full year.